What's up, everybody? Welcome to Every Week We Follow. Tonight's episode is the preview for the dreaded Palace game. We've got our brilliant mate from Fanalysis, Jack, who came on at the start of the season. So, and obviously, we're not used to this, Jack, because we haven't lost many games this year, but you were the one that has done us over, mate. So welcome back, mate. Second time.
Thank you very much for having me again. I'm all good. I'm all good. Not the best time to be playing this game because usually I go into it with full confidence, but at the minute, I'm not sure. But we're going to get into that anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So just before we get started, just a quick one. Obviously, Jack and I are both part of Fanalysis. We're both part of the starting 11s for our teams. It is now live. You can go and download it from the App Store or the Google Play Store, wherever you get all your content from. Go and like our pages if you're a Crystal Palace fan. I'll link all of if you've got any socials, your Twitter and whatnot in the bio. Go and like us. Go and comment on our match reports, on our player ratings. Help us grow and take it over and kind of, let's see where it takes us. It's coming, people. There's updates happening really regularly. So just get yourself on there. Get yourself comment. It's a safe space, which I think is the most important thing. If you do get accepted and you're on it, you won't be able to kind of put a load of abuse against opposing fans. But what I really like about it, which is one of the updates, is that you can look at the team that you're playing. You can look at what they're saying, and it gives you a really nice kind of balance of review, I thought. So, yeah, go and check that out. Also, we're still running our competition because I've put it back. We're going to do a charity night. So if you want to win this wonderful signed Villa ball, all right, make sure you hit that QR code down there or down here somewhere. Donate £5 and it all goes to Acorns Children's Hospice. But that's going to be running till potentially the spring, potentially end of the season, because we're looking at doing a whole charity day to raise some money because we want to raise £1,000. We've raised 400, so I held off from doing the draw because I didn't want to not raise the money. So looking at doing some work with some of the content creators. We're part of the Holt Hub, which is a collective of Villa content creators. So a few of them are going to get involved. If we can get some of the merch to raffle off and all that kind of stuff, then hopefully we'll get to that target. Right. Which brings us to a cold, wet, freezing cold Wednesday night in London. Fucking can we do it? Like, honestly, this is at the start of the season, right? When we had you on, Jack, I was like, I wasn't optimistic we'd beat you anyway because you've been our bogey side. Then I looked at our December fixtures, right? And I was like, okay, we've got on paper one of the hardest ones. And I wasn't expecting anything really. I thought maybe 3 points, like against West Ham, maybe. That's what I was looking at. And obviously, we had a really poor start. And then Unai Emery has just kind of galvanised us. And we've gone on this amazing, we went on an 11-game run. I think it's, 12 wins out of 11 or something stupid
it's
like
incredible.
that. It's unbelievable. And then I looked at our New Year fixtures and I thought, okay, Notts Forest, I deal with that, right? And then you go, fucking Crystal Palace on a Wednesday.
Again.
Who's done this? Like, so obviously the game is now massive for us, really, because it's kind of, not a title talk, like, or now bloody Emery's got the sack. All day today, Emery's going to Man United, which, by the way, I've done a couple of TikToks on that, just laughing my head off. I just don't see it happening.
No, but also as well as Glasner as well as another name. Apparently, he's the top priority, and it's a bit like every single club so far at the minute.
Well, this is what I was going to say to you because obviously his contract's up in the summer, right? And he said he's not potentially going to renew.
Well,
how are you feeling about that?
I don't know how to feel, and I'll be honest, because he's saying one thing, but Fabrizio is saying another thing. He's saying he ain't signing, but he's saying he has not even spoke to the chairman about anything, so you don't know. But every press conference I've heard from him, not once has he ever said that I love the job, I want to stay, I want to continue the journey. Not once. He's keeping his cards close to his chest. So this is why I'm not sure, but what he's done for us is unbelievable. And it was the best year last year. And hopefully we can do it the same this year. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
I mean, the thing is, like you say, last year was incredible for Palace, wasn't it? And you've got a manager there that clearly knows what he's doing, the direction he wants the players to play. Like, he's got a real philosophy. You can see the way in how you guys play. Yeah. And he's had Emery's number on a shoestring. It's obvious to get frustrated because we've just done the same thing against you guys in the last 3 seasons. I'm like, look, we've got to change it because what we do doesn't work. Their system it top trumps us like every time. So, but what I will say, mate, going into this game is that obviously we should be flying high on confidence, and you are missing a one particular Sarr who's off on AFCON duty, which for me is like
he loves the Villa.
Yay!
He does. He loves playing you lot. And do you know what? I think when you look at the basis of the team as well, look, Villa are being incredible this season. And do you know what? As a Palace fan, I love to see it because teams like us, I love to see them do well. And at the end of the day, if someone can break the mold, what's already there, and start breaking through, everyone can, and everyone can slowly get better and better. And do you know what we said at the start of the season? I think we even said we weren't sure how it was going to go for Villa because obviously the spending caps and bits like that.
Yeah,
and now it's very much it's coming perfect for you.
Well,
but
I was saying, look, I feel like we're kind of just complimenting each other's teams here, but like it's supposed. This is not clickbait, mate. We should be raging at each other. Oh, Palace is shit, mate. You're going down.
No, not going to do good for fun now.
Yeah, get that in there. No, like as I said to you, like it's good. When we were playing you, we were going through. Like Martinez didn't play against you because it was, you know, Man United room for him, and it was our dressing room was so unsettled. And those first 5 games, to me, I thought, fuck it. It felt like Emery not necessarily lost the dressing room, but the players that were there were kind of like just elsewhere. Like Rodgers was talking, Rodgers going to Chelsea, and we just didn't look like coherent. We couldn't string passes together. We couldn't score a goal. It looked awful, right? And but I went to a book signing in October, right?
Okay.
This book signing here behind me, sorry, where it is, Rise of the Villains, right? And it's written by Guillaume Balakay, who's the Spanish kind of journalist, and he's best mates with Unai Emery, and he had our assistant Paco as a special guest.
Oh, wow.
He came out, and they were, and I don't know if it's because he's obviously English is his second language, but I think he may have let out a little bit too much information because he was basically asked, like, you know, should Villa fans be worried? And he was like, no, you shouldn't be worried. Basically, we've had a meeting today or yesterday or something, and he was like, Unai has basically said, I only want players here that are committed to Aston Villa, and if you're not committed, then there's the door. Anyone's got any questions, come and see me. Apparently, 10 players went to see him, right?
Wow.
And all of those 10 players came out and went, yeah, we're all in, right? So whatever he said to them individually, right? And then we get rid of Monchi, and then the next thing you know, boom, fucking hell, everything. No,
100%. The one player I bet saw him and said, oh, maybe I'm not too sure, is Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened to him at the minute, but he's just left at the wayside.
Well, mate, I think that was kind of Munch's parting gift. You think we've signed him on deadline day, and I think it was a panic buy more than anything.
I think it was,
and I don't think while Emery's got complete control of our club, I think that was Munch's kind of way of going, well, we need something, and I've organised this, and it kind of went through, and Emery's gone, nah, he's not for me. I don't want him, and which is a shame because there's a player in RB Elliott, and I was actually genuinely excited about him signing, going, actually, he could do a job for us. You know, he can play on the right, he can play in the middle as a 10, and those are 2 areas that we really need to kind of expand on if we get any injuries and stuff like that. And Unai's tested him a little bit, gave him a few minutes at the start of the season against Brentford and a couple of other games where he came on as a sub, but and then nothing. And then he basically, I think the nail in the coffin was it was the Nottingham Forest press conference. He basically said, yeah, it's done. He's basically not good enough. And we're trying to find the best solution for both player and club. Now, obviously...
It's a hard one, though, isn't it? Like, a question for you on that, then. Because I asked this to a lot of Palace fans. Now, I say Eddie Nketiah is a bit of the same situation. We brought him. Mateta's flying. Was flying. He had a good opportunity. He hasn't had a chance to play. Now, when he comes on, he has his minutes here and there, and a lot of Palace fans don't like him. But do you think if Harvey Elliott had the time, he could have been a better player than what he is, or do you reckon he generally it doesn't fit the mould and fit what you guys are trying to build?
Oh, personally, mate, I 100%. I'd love to see him get some minutes.
Yeah,
I think with what we've had on offer, Cassand, who played down our left, who's gone off to AFCON, mate, useless. Like. Not bad work rate, but you know, when I look, even when we signed him, I was like, "This is brilliant." Okay, we've got a young player who's coming off the back of an under-21 tournament where he's been player of the tournament. He's he's got Premier League experience. He's got European experience, Champions League experience. Like he played a significant part in Liverpool winning the league. Yes, he was.
He was playing under Klopp.
Yeah,
so it's huge.
And you just go, surely we can utilise him in some way, but you know, and somewhere the story just doesn't matter. So because what's really frustrating is like Emery's like his attitude's brilliant. He's training well. He's but we just can't find a place for him. And then it's kind of shifted to like, actually, he's not good enough. So obviously, maybe something's happened that we won't know until the saga's over.
No, of course.
Whether he goes back to Liverpool in January or we keep him. Because the problem is, Emery's kind of made up his mind and gone, we're not going to let him play 10 games. We've got this ridiculous clause in his contract. So if he plays 10 games for us, then we've got an obligation to buy him for 35 million quid. And I think Unai's thinking, if I could negotiate and get him back to Liverpool, I've got that 35 million pounds to use on a player that I actually want.
Yeah.
So, and I think,
and at the moment you play in 10 games, that's it. You've got to pay it. So
I've got to pay it. So, and I think unfortunately for Elliott, the other thing was that Emi Buendia has shocked everybody, because I think if you'd asked any Villa fan at the start of the season, Buendia wouldn't have been anywhere near our squad, and we all thought he was on his way out. And then all of a sudden, he's come back to pre-season. I went to 3 pre-season friendlies, and I thought he was our best player by a country mile. And I didn't really. And I thought, if I'm honest, I thought he was putting himself in the shop window. I thought, he's trying because he knows he's going to be sold. But Unai's just stuck with him, and obviously he's had major impact in our season. He was part of one of the players that turned our fortunes around. Came on, started to take games by the scruff of the neck, got important goals. And he's dipped off a little bit in recent weeks, but it was a surprise package really. And I think 100%. And I think Emery's gone, actually, I've had this player, and he's came in and he's proven to me that he wants to be part of the team. And then we go back to that meeting I mentioned about players wanting to be there for Aston Villa. Harvey Elliott's a Liverpool fan, and he's probably that's where his heart really lies. Didn't probably want to leave Liverpool and probably forced out the door. So I think he's probably thinking, job done. So it's one of them, mate. I think it's a damn shame on Elliott in a World Cup year, if I'm honest.
I mean, for me personally, if there was an opportunity to nab him off of this loan, I think Palace would take him in a heartbeat. I think he's a great player. It's just a matter of, in your system, does he fit? No. But in a Glasgow system where we play 2 behind Mateta instead of and then we have the wide men, he would fit that perfectly. But the thing is with us, it's just like we're missing Sarr and things like that at the minute. I think our season's kind of done the opposite to yours, where we had an amazing start. But I think it was the 13th of December, we was 4th. Yeah. And now we're 14th.
Yeah.
So it's like, you couldn't write it, could you?
No, you couldn't. Do you know what? I feel the Harvey Elliott situation as well, just last thing on that, is that he can't go anywhere else because he's loaned to us. Like because he's gone to 2 clubs in a season, he's fucked unless he goes abroad. So
I think that's why the MLS sort of rumour come about, because I think they were trying to say, if you need to play, you come over here, play, and then come back.
That's how I don't think old manager Mate Dean Smith doing his bit of business, going, I'll have him.
Yeah. I just can't. Thing is, you go. The way I feel with MLS, you go over there, that's you done.
Yeah,
I just don't think there's a comeback from that at all.
Mate, it's League One standard at best. Occasionally you get diamonds in the rough that come and make it, but we all know that it's nowhere near the standard of Europe, the top 5 leagues in Europe. It's
not a chance.
There's
not going to be one manager of international break looking over there, unless you're Messi or someone like that. You're not going to look over there and go, "I tell you what, I'm going to take him instead."
Messi could probably play in the MLS till he's 60. Do you know what I mean? You've still got Christian Benteke playing at you in America,
and he's doing really well over there.
Yeah. Well, mate, I had a message on TikTok a couple of weeks ago saying, because obviously Ollie Watkins hasn't been firing up until recently, and it's like, would you take Benteke back? I was like, no, mate. He would not even. What are you talking about? I think he was an American fan. Like, he's obviously watching from afar. I'm like, no, dude, he's past it now. Like, he's had his best years.
I think we would have paid someone to take him at the end of his sort of saga at Palace. We would have paid them to take him.
Benteke was wonderful for us, mate. I was gutted when he
was. He is unbelievable.
Yeah, and then when he went to Liverpool, he probably had a better time with you guys than he did at Liverpool, if I'm honest. But everything comes to an end, right? But I always believe that you've got to go forward rather than backwards, right?
You do.
So, it's an interesting one, really, because this January transfer window for us, like, is important because we need to try and strengthen. But obviously, because of PSR and stuff, we are still massively restricted. Like, it's just kind of, we've got to try and do a bit of a dodgy loan deal, or, you know, an astute signing for a good price, maybe. Like, but we need
do a Mr. Marinakis.
Yeah. Well, but look, mate, Emery did it last year and got in Asensio and Rashford on loans. You know what I mean? We're like, fuck, how's he done that? You know, and so if we could get something like that, we've got this young Brazilian kid called Alisson who's just signed. Got no idea what he's like. I've watched the YouTube reel, mate. Obviously, he looks like a fucking world beater, doesn't he? Right, and everyone he's the next Neymar apparently, and I'm like, yeah, but he's 19 and he's just, you know, that adaptation to England from fucking Brazil is a tough one, mate. Can you imagine him like today training, like going, what the fuck?
Well, we've had this similar situation. We had Matthias França. He come in. He was meant to be, apparently, he was compared as the next Vinicius Junior. He was incredible. Played, we put him straight in the team, and straight away, as soon as I think it was against Nottingham Forest, one of the defenders clattered him, and he got up, and he's done his ACL twice. He's now been sent back, and now he hasn't done anything over there. We spent 35 million on him, and he's still doing nothing. So,
mate, it's a massive risk, and like I say, what I will say is, in Emery we trust. I've really got utmost faith in his scouting ability, and that he wouldn't be bringing in a player that he didn't think could manage it. But Emery is just so well known for not bedding in players straight away. So he even said in his press conference before Forest, he's like, we'll have him for a couple of weeks in training so he adapts to my methods, and then hopefully in the Premier League, which says to me that we ain't going to see him anytime soon. Like, we may see him towards the arse end of it, but I wouldn't
be surprised if he plays the under-21s for a little bit, just to get game time.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Because, you know, I think it's kind of widely known that Emery's methods are intense, and not everyone can cope with them. And anyone that can't cope with them has ultimately been moved on. There's a lot of talk about Douglas Luiz this weekend, because obviously he's at Forest now, and it's a fascinating read, that book behind me, because we all thought he left because of PSR reasons, and we got 50, 60 million quid it was to Juve. You think, okay, that makes sense. But apparently it was because Emery thought he'd hit the ceiling and wasn't going to be able to take us any further.
I'm shocked by that, because looking on the outside looking in, do you know when he started going through, you was just getting rid of players left, right, I thought Villa are stuffed. I thought they are not coming back from this, especially Douglas Luiz, because I thought he was a great player. And then obviously seeing the money he got for him was incredible as well.
Fan favourite, none of us wanted him to leave. Like, it was all kind of, fuck, we are screwed. And it was Yuri Tillemans at the time who had come on a free, but had been injured and only been played big parts, and we were like, fucking hell, he looks miles off the pace. But then last season, Yuri Tillemans was our players' player of the year, mate. He was fucking unbelievable. And he's carried that forward today.
What you guys done with the transfers a bit, so like, as a football fan, I admire it, because the players you brought in were kind of like say like a Sancho, a Rashford, very much players who are good players and have fallen out of love of the game, or fallen out of love of their form, or something happened, and it's just trying to bring it back to relight that. And then now look at the squad you've built; it's incredible. That with us, we haven't done that, and that's the issue. We could have been in the market for that, but we don't pay it.
And that's it, mate. It's weird. It's just having, like, while we've been restricted, we have had some money to spend. So I'm not going to sit here and say we've spent no money, because that's lies.
No,
we gambled in the Champions League with big wages on Rashford and Asensio to try and keep us there, and we didn't get there, and that's what's restricted us this season. So you kind of think, I wasn't expecting this kind of season, if I'm honest. I said at the start of the season, win the Europa League, right, fucking finish mid-table, I'll fucking take that all day long, right? And now, like, I'm just going, okay, it'll fall off eventually, right? Yes, we lost to Arsenal, right? But then we just, the performance against Forest, they were terrible, by the way, but we had to be good. And in seasons prior, we probably would have drawn that game, or been frustrated not being able to break them down, because we've struggled against that low block. We've suddenly got a different way of playing this year. It feels like we've got a plan B, basically. So if things aren't working, we've got other ways and players. And now we've still got injuries, but Emery never mentions anything about that. And like our entire midfield, mate, well, not entire, but the three of them, Boubacar Kamara, right, who's probably one of the most underrated defensive midfielders in the world, if I'm honest. He's been brilliant.
100%. If he's not chosen for France, I'll be shocked.
Mate, John McGinn posted something on Twitter today. He said, "This guy is unreal. How is he not in the French team? Like, I don't understand.
It's crazy.
Like, if I know I'm biased, but I would arguably say, show me a better defensive midfielder in European football at the moment. I can't think of
the
one.
only person I would, as a Palace fan, put close to that is Adam Wharton, just for the passing and the way his ability is. But I still would argue that they're too separate in their game. It's another one like Elliot Anderson, but they're all separate in their game. They play different abilities, so you can't even compare them.
Mate, I'll agree with that, though, because I said to you when you went the last time, mate, I'd take Adam Wharton off you in a heartbeat at the Villa.
Oh, of course you would.
100%. I think he's one of the best upcoming footballers in the world. He's got the potential to be one of the best midfielders in the world. Like, honestly, his speed of thought I can't stand him. I wish he was African so we weren't here, because honestly,
100%.
It causes us so many problems because of how simple he keeps the game and how quickly he moves the ball. It's brilliant to watch, and that's the same with Kamara. Like it's when you take him out of our team he didn't play against Arsenal, mate. We just miss him so badly. Like, we haven't got any. Like, I could say we've got depth in defence, we've got depth in other areas of midfield, but that defensive role, if you take him out, it's just not the same, and we look like a weakened side. And then you've got obviously Tielemans, he was a free, and then John McGinn, who cost 2.5 million from Hibs 7 years ago.
Right, Super John McGinn.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I hated Steven Gerrard, but he bought Boubacar Kamara in for free. And Steve Bruce wasn't exactly our greatest ever manager, but he got John McGinn for 2.5 million. So
it's crazy.
So when you look at all that does is point to Unai Emery and go, this guy is a fucking phenomenal coach and manager. Right? He man management is superb. Like I say, you think about where we were at the start and how disjointed we were. To get that team together, even if that was a kind of conversation that went, look, some of you are going to leave in the summer, right? I know what's happened has happened, right? But you'll go with our blessings, but fucking this is what we've got to do this season, right?
Yeah.
And then so likes of Emi Martinez may well leave in the summer. Watkins might go in the summer. He'll be 30, and I think, if I'm honest, I think he will be replaced as good as he's been.
If you can cash in now at 30, 60 million out of him, you can't complain, can you?
Absolutely. So in a World Cup year, look, he's been shit all season. If I'm honest, mate, I've been on his case like more than anybody. I can't stand him because
I need to check your Fanalysis for that, because it's like Mateta. I think the highest I've rated him so far at the minute is about 50 or 60.
Well, mate, if you go through, I've rated him highly in the games where he's played well, which is 2,
okay. Yeah.
Right? So
that's a bit of Mateta.
Against Brighton, I give him man of the match a 92 because I thought he was superb all game, right? And against Chelsea, I thought he was super. And he only had half an hour then, but he came on and changed the game. And I rated him pretty decent against Forest because his goal was brilliant and he worked his ass off. So he's had 3 decent ratings for me. Other than that, I'm like, this guy needs to do more, because I felt all of our players have raised their level, and then he's the only one that hasn't. Like this is the stat, mate. He scored 9 goals in 42 games. Right, so that's over last season. That's awful. But mate, we're fucking 3rd in the league. We can't have a striker that's scoring 9 goals over 2 seasons. That's ridiculous, right? So,
even when you look at some players in the Premier League, like even Larson at Wolves, he's scoring more than that, and they're struggling. So he's even scoring. So mate, it's one of them.
And people come at me and go, yeah, but he brings so much more to the team. He's running and he's hold up play and all that kind of stuff. And I generally, in games this season, he hasn't even done that. Like but credit where it's due, mate. He scored 4 goals in 3 games, so hopefully he's coming to a run of form. He's now scored 7 goals this season, right? But I mean, even against the game on Saturday against Forest, mate, he should have had 2. He missed in the first couple of minutes. The ball falls to him on the penalty spot. He's got the whole goal to aim for, and he hits it straight at the keeper. Right? And everyone's like, oh no, it's a great save. I'm like, bullshit. He's supposed to be a Premier League striker. You can't score from 6 yards out with the goal gaping. What are you? That's your bread and butter, right?
On that point, though, so I'm getting a bit like this with Mateta, because the way everyone's going, but don't get on his case. He holds up the ball well, blah, blah, blah. But any player in the Premier League should be able to do that on the wages they're on. The way Mateta's been brought in is to score goals. And when he's 6 foot away from the goal and he still can't score, there's an issue.
Yeah. Mate,
so that's it.
You know I'm a fan of Mateta, and I would have him at the Villa. But like at the same time, like you said, the basics is centre forward. Your main centre forward should be able to hold the ball up, bring other people into play. But the main thing you've got him for is scoring goals. That's
100%.
it. Right, that's it. That's your job. That's what you paid all the big bucks for. It's an art form in itself. And I just go, as a development point, like from Watkins. Watkins has been with us. Let's just look over the last 4 seasons, right? He's put up really good numbers, right? Double figures in each season. But in the 23-24 campaign, he had, I think, 31 goal involvements. I think it was 19 goals, right? And then 31 and then rest assists. He was phenomenal, mate. Everything that he touched turned to gold. And then you go, okay, so from there, really, you know, if knowing the coach that Emery is looking at development, right, you go, that's the level, mate. If we're going to compete in Europe, that's the level. And he just hasn't. He's dipped. He's gone down. He's got worse. So in front of goal, he's not a clinical goal scorer. He gets into the positions, and Emery's coached him to get into the position. So he gets the chances, but he can't convert them because he's not a natural, instinctive striker. Like we've got Daniel Marlon, who's not getting any minutes, mate, and has struggled to get minutes. But when I watch him play, mate, he looks hungry. His movement's like exciting. He's trying to get shots away. He's hitting he's taking it early. Like Saturday was the first time this season I've seen Watkins actually do it in 2 touches. Like that was a brilliant goal because the ball's played into him, 1 touch out of his feet, bang, goal. Right. I implore you to scour the internet for any footage like that from Watkins over the course of the season because it doesn't exist.
Watkins used to play. I'm sure of it. He used to play for Brent when we used to play for Brentford. He used to play the wing on the wing, left wing. He was. So
this is the age-old argument. He's a fucking winger, portraying as a striker, right?
And it just don't work.
No, it doesn't work. And which you could say he's done remarkably well to get the numbers that he has in the last 3 or 4 seasons, doing that, right? But it just shows for me in the crucial moments, like if we go back to the Arsenal game for us, right, at 0-0 in the first half, mate. I thought we were brilliant first half. We were all over him, and he had a brilliant chance, right? We completely tore Arsenal open. He's in line. He's on the 6-yard box, and the finish, mate. Like it comes off his ankle. I'm like, mate, you're not playing in a park pitch that's muddy. You're on carpet, right? Like
it's a Sunday league.
For me, it's unfathomable. Like, and if you're a top striker, you're gunning for those moments. And I'm not saying he should score every chance. Saturday's a perfect example. He had 2 clear-cut opportunities. He took one. Brilliant, 50%, mate. I'm happy with that. Right? If you should, that's what you should be aiming for as a striker. Like he missed 33 big chances last season. 33, right? And that's 33 one-on-ones, open goals, whatever it is, right? Clear-cut opportunities. If we'd have taken half of them, mate, we'd have finished probably second last year. Do you know what I mean? You go, fuck's sake.
It's a bit like us. So I saw a stat just before this, and it was saying that Palace have got one of the most. We have the most opportunities on goal throughout the season, but we've also got the most misses in front of goal all out of everyone. And you sit there and think about it. You think our season is a what-if season. How could it have been so different if we took the chances? But like when you look at Mateta, so I was watching him against Sunderland. I don't know if you managed to watch the game at all or anything like that, but him against Newcastle was awful. So every single ball that was coming over in the air, he's usually the first one to header that straight in or get something on it. He lost every single header. Every single one. It was awful to watch. It's like watching a broken man trying to do something. It was a horrendous watch.
I don't know if I should admit this, mate, but I've watched a lot of Mateta because my wife is obsessed with him. Right?
I remember you saying before.
And not for his footballing ability, right? So I take it back. I don't want him to come to Villa because I think I'll be single, right? But yeah, no, you're right. But they're key moments, aren't they? When they're a main striker, you need them to perform. It's the end. It's the bottom line, isn't it? And that's where if you look at our goal difference, it's a problem. Right? Realistically, if we were going to put a total charge together, right, we've got to score more goals. It's as simple as, right, and people will write us off, and I'm happy for them to write us off. I've had loads of fucking discussion with Man United fans today going, you're just a small club and you can't win the league. And I'm like, okay, right, we probably won't win the league, but I'd rather be in our situation than your situation, right?
100%.
And there's no way Emery's going to Man United because, mate, he has complete control over us. What Emery said in his press conference yesterday is as clear as what's wrong with Man United. I came here to be manager and manage the club, and I'm just head coach. So when you've got people above you in the director of football, if they like it, and they're making all the footballing decisions, right, it becomes a problem at a club like that because you lose the dressing room. The play,
But
like,
it's on that. Sorry, just when you said that head coach situation, it's like even on Sky. So when you look at, I think it was Leeds they were playing, and it said
yeah,
like the Leeds manager, and it said Leeds manager underneath him, and
yeah,
even on Man United it says Man United head coach.
coach.
So you can see it in black and white exactly what he's there for.
And I think that just undermines everything you're trying to do. And the players
100%.
know that. And then what you end up with, I'm not saying Emery's the best manager, but Man United are 6. They're 3-4 points off the Champions League places, right? Which is not exactly a bad return for what he's having to work with. Right?
And he's doing better than the previous 1 or 2. So,
Yeah.
and you see, thing is with Man United, it's sorry, I know we're talking about Palace, Aston Villa, but with them, it's very much 13 years, 10 managers, and look at the lineup of managers they've had. If you're Glasner or obviously
Emery.
the Aston Villa, Emery, like you sit there and look at that and think, is this a job I feel comfortable and safe at? Like at Palace, if he said jump, we'll say how high.
Yeah.
It's very simple as that. At Man United, it's gonna be you say anything out of line, you're gone. And why would you want to go? I see it as a step down. I know it sounds bad saying that about them, but I generally do for both clubs.
I would, Man United are one of the biggest clubs in the world. You can't deny that, right? There's no denying that. But it's a poison chalice, mate. And until they get rid of the board, like any manager that takes over, it doesn't matter who they employ, they won't be successful. They won't have the full backing. They won't have control over who they buy and who they sell and all that kind of stuff. It will be like, this is what you've got to work with, get the best out of it.
100%.
That's what Emery was saying. Like, I'm close to the Champions League places. We need a little bit more investment. Now you've got to work with what you've got. Oh, we know what I've got isn't good enough. So I need like better players. And he sacked himself yesterday by fucking coming out and saying what he said. Like you think, I loved it, mate. I was like, fucking go on.
But the best thing about it as well, though, is he's laughing because I saw him going for a walk this morning on Sky Sports, and he's got a smile on his face, but he's been paid out on most millions. So he's supposed to sit there thinking, I'm still paid out. I'm out the poison chalice now. I don't have to deal with them anymore, and now I can move on and crack on with another job. So
mate,
in his head, he's laughing.
He's laughing, absolutely, mate. Right, okay, let's move it on anyway, because we've been chatting on for loads, mate. So just to break up the show, mate, we're getting to our hat-trick quiz, right, which is, don't panic, mate. I promise this is just a little bit of fun, right? And it's basically 3 questions where you get a hard one, an easy one. Oh, God, I just pressed the wrong button. Of course I would. Sorry, mate, give me a second.
That's all right. I was going to say, I better do well in this because I'm meant to be a Palace pro for Fanalysis.
Well, there you go. There's no pressure, mate, at all.
No, 100%.
Right, so where have we gone? Ah, there we are. Right, we're back. Right, okay. Ever the professional, mate, as you know. Right, okay. So, like I say, we've got 3 questions, mate. We have the tap-in, which is the easy question. We have the curler from the edge of the box, which is the medium question, and then we have the thunderbolt, which is the hard question, and a bonus question for either bragging rights or a chance to get that hat trick. Okay, so let's just get straight into it, mate. Easy tapping. Here we go. In Crystal Palace's 3-1 win over Aston Villa at Selhurst Park in August 2022, who scored 2 for Palace?
I want to say Mateta, but I think I'm wrong. Have you got multiple choice for that one?
I've got multiple choice for you on it. It's either Elise or Zaha.
I'm going to say Elise.
Oh, mate, it's 50. It was Wilfried Zaha.
No, do you know why I said that? Because I thought that was his downfall. From then, 2022 was when we started getting rid of Zaha. So that was when he was on his way out. But
yeah. No, yes, that is true. But no worries, mate. You've still got 3 questions here, so you can still get your hat trick.
We'll go again.
Here we go. We go again, mate. Right, okay. So at Villa Park in July 2020, and July 2020 is crucial because this was COVID times, mate, when the league started a little bit late. Because I looked at this and was like, July? There's no football in July. And I was like, oh, no, it's 2020. We started back early because we were all like, going to murder each other if we didn't get some form of entertainment, right? Anyway, so Palace thought they'd scored early, but VAR ruled it out for handball. Villa went on to win the game 2-0 with 2 goals from Trezeguet. But which Palace player handled it for the disallowed goal? Was it either, I'll give you 4 answers, it was either Jordan Ayew, Wilfried Zaha, Coyote? Is that how you pronounce it?
Coyote.
Coyote or Mamadou Sakho.
Now, Mamadou Sakho loves a handball. So does Jordan Ayew. Is it one of them two?
It's one of them two.
Okay, well, I'm going to say Ayew. Mamadou Sakho. No, do you know what? Because I think it was the game after we played Leicester, I believe, and Jordan Ayew, I think, done it in that game.
Yeah.
So we had two handballs. We had two handballs back to back.
That is good. It was Mohamed Sakho. I remember it, and it was so controversial because it hit him on the top of the arm, and so that's when I think it was the season after that it come with the shirt nonsense.
Yeah.
So because it hit him here, and obviously that was the season we were so lucky, mate. We had the ghost goal against Sheffield United where the goalkeeper had taken it over the line. That wasn't given. And then we had that where we went on to win the game. And I think with 34 games to go, we were in the bottom three and we ended up just scraping out of it. And obviously now we are where we are. So,
do you know what? If that goal went in, though, I think that would have changed the game completely. There's been a couple of times like that with us.
Well,
I mean,
my favourite saying is goals change games.
They do. Like the semi-final, I know obviously Aston Villa didn't turn up at all.
Yeah, I hate to bring it up. You had to get that one in. Fuck it out.
No, but even in that game, there's a couple of opportunities early on Villa had. And I was watching it, I was thinking, if one of them went in, that'd have been game done. Because we wouldn't have come back from that, not at all. So I think we just ran away with it from there. But
yeah, mate, I think the first goal killed us in that semi-final. But I'm not knocking it, mate, because that's how Fanalysis came about for me. Because we had a message off Ellis about doing some filming if we got to the final. And
that's what I got as well.
That was rubbish. We didn't get to the final. Is there any chance? If you've got anything else going, let me know. And that's how Fanalysis was born.
See, I was meant to do that as well. And then that's how I started getting in contact about Fanalysis for the Palace side.
There you go. Well, you went on to win it, mate. Oh, that was amazing.
I know. They didn't get the chance to do it there in the end. So it was unfortunate Fanalysis didn't get the chance because I was ready to go. But,
well, yeah, because the prize wasn't it? It was like a VIP day at Wembley, and you get to go on the pitch with the players if they won it. I was
do.
Oh, mate, sign me up for that.
That's what I thought.
Mate, I'd have been on national TV running away with the FA Cup with John McGinn chasing
100%.
me. That's 100%. What would have happened.
I'd have been nicking a microphone because Mateta in the end had a stick with a vlogging camera. And that'd have been quality. I'd have been all over that.
It's probably a good idea that we didn't get it, mate.
100%.
Okay, so you've got one question, mate. Well done. So on to the hard one. This is the Thunderbolt, mate.
Right.
So this is, hopefully you'll get this. Which Palace manager was in charge when Palace won 1-0 at Villa Park on Boxing Day in 2013? Late winner. Who was in charge of the club? It was either Roy Hodgson, Tony Pulis, Alan Pardew, or Sam Allardyce.
2013. We come up 2012, 2013. We had Dougie Freeman and we had Pardew.
I will say that he took charge in, I think it was the November.
Give me the options again.
It was either Roy Hodgson, Tony Pulis, Alan Pardew, or Sam Allardyce.
I'm going to say Tony Pulis.
Yeah, back of the net, mate. He shoots his scores. Yeah.
No, that was a dodgy one, though, because Alan Pardew was just before that, and Sam Allardyce was just after that.
Yes, it was. So like I say, I think it was Pardew got the sack in November, and he took. Yeah. He had an interim. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Dougie Freeman who went for a month.
He was our director of football, and then stepped down to take over for a little bit for a couple of games. I think it was.
And then Tony Pulis stepped in. Right, mate. So you're still on for the hat trick. This is the bonus.
Oh, let's do this.
Now, I probably should have put this as the easy question because I think you're going to get this, and we've already kind of had a bit of a conversation about it. So, which I didn't know was going to happen. By the way, people, this is not a fix. I promise you, this is pure coincidence.
I didn't know the questions. I promise.
Yeah. Okay, so which ex-Palace striker also played for Villa?
Christian Benteke.
He didn't even need the multiple choice. Absolutely, mate. He shoots, he scores. He scores that hat-trick. Happy days, mate.
Hopefully, Mateta can do that in time for a Villa, eh?
Yeah. Well, I hope not, mate, though, because that's just going to devastate my case. I still, honestly, I've got pure nightmares about this fixture and these players, Mateta and Wharton. And like I say, I just thank the lucky stars that Sarr is not playing, which kind of brings us on to our predictions. So we'll get on to our predictions, mate. And we'll start with your lineup first, if that's all right.
Yeah,
So
of course.
if you want to talk us through this and let us know what we need to worry about now.
Well, England's number one, first of all, as it should be. Dean Henderson. I would like to know your opinion on that as well, actually, quickly. Would you still stick with Pickford, considering everything with like how many goals he's conceded, or would you go Henderson?
Mate, I'd go Henderson. I'm not a fan of Pickford. I don't think he should have been England's number one for a while. I just don't know how a goalkeeper that plays for a team that Everton are doing okay this year, but for the last 3 or 4 seasons have been clinging on for dear life.
I have.
And yes, he's probably facing them. He's got great stats because he's facing the most shots, right? But you want keepers that are switched on all the time and when they're not needed and make saves when they're not necessarily called upon, because England dominate so many games. So
yeah, of course.
For me personally, mate, this isn't just because you're on. I'd definitely go with Henderson.
No, to be fair, I'm massive for Henderson. I am, but the back three. We usually play back five, so we have the right back and left, right wing back and then left wing back. But I've gone for Canvert in there. So JD Canvert, our youngster, 21-year-old.
So good. Now, he's not got a photo yet, mate. I know.
Well, it cost us 21 million, so hopefully he turns out to be good. But with him, so it's a bit of a risky one. It might be Jefferson Lerma in there. But it's whether or not his injury was that bad against Newcastle, because he comes straight off and Canvert come on and he played really well. So I'm not too sure on that position, but the guy will always, no matter what, be the other two. Nathaniel Klein also picked up an injury in Newcastle, and obviously we're out of Daniel Munoz. So I've gone for Devaney on the wing as a right wing back, because that's what we usually play sometimes as a right wing back cover, and then Mitchell the other side, and then we've got the Wharton. The England midfielder in there and Hughes.
Yeah, mate.
And then we move to the mid attacking, and Johnson, obviously for us, a new signing, which hopefully can do something there. And then Mateta and Jeremy Pino.
Well, let's talk about Johnson then, mate, because obviously 35 million quid from Spurs. Yeah. There was a little bit of a rumour that he might come to Villa, but that quickly got kiboshed. What are your thoughts on it? Are you happy with the signing?
I'm happy in a way of, look, Tottenham fans are always going to say that he's very much Mr. Back Post and stuff like that. But I think as a player, he fits our style of football. He's not as good as Sarr. I wouldn't play him over Sarr at all.
Yeah.
What I might potentially have done is play him on the other side and take Pino off.
Okay.
Have him as, because Pino's not been playing well at the minute, but also as well as trying to get used to the Premier League. Whereas Johnson's already made in the Premier League. So I would play him as Sarr, but obviously at the minute he's as best as what we can get with a bit more pace up front. I weren't too keen on the price, but if he can come out and do well, then hopefully fingers crossed. If he could score against Villa and be the new Sarr, could you imagine that? That'd be your luck, wouldn't it?
It would be, mate. It's one of the worried about, because if I'm honest, when the rumours were flying around that he might come to Villa, I thought I wasn't against it. I think Spurs fans were, I think, have been too critical of him. I think he's improved at Spurs. I think he's a better player at Spurs than he was at Forest, and I think he, for whatever reason, Frank's gone a different route or not used him. But, Spurs could say he's missed the back post, but you've got to be there, and he was scoring goals for them.
100%.
And his pace worries me because, we have got arguably the slowest centre-half in world football playing for us in Victor Lindelof. I genuinely think he's the slowest man on earth, right? And which brings us on. We'll go on to my starting 11 so we can kind of compare it, mate.
On that point as well, quickly, he don't play as a winger. He plays just behind. So Pino and Johnson won't play on the wings. They'll play just behind Mateta. So if Mateta's getting holding at the ball, he'll play it out to one or two of them, and they can run past Lindelof. It's going to be a scary...
Mate, I've been saying this for weeks now. We've kind of got away with it against teams because our midfield's been so good, and we've kept people in front of us. Now, Lindelof, when the players in front of him, even if this was Pau Torres, mate, and he was playing, same thing. Once you turn these guys back towards their own goal, they've got nothing, mate. So I was really surprised in the Arsenal fixture, for instance, that we started with Digne. I thought, God, with Saka and the pace they've got in midfield, what are we doing? And it kind of went that way in the end. I think we got the first goal was a ball over the top. Both Lindelof and Dean, got done for pace. They get the corner and we could see the guy. Like, it was, but it's if I'm opposing team, I'm looking at Villa's weaknesses and I'm going, that's what we got to do. We've got to try and move the ball quick enough to kind of get in behind them because they haven't got the pace. Now, obviously, what we'll try and do to combat that, which is what I hope. Look, last time I did this against you, I was like, right, this is my lineup, what I want to do. This is what I think Emery will play, right?
I'm scared of that lineup. I already taking one look at it. I'm scared.
Yes, right. Now, it's slightly different from the start of the season because, mate, I don't know, you've had that Leeds result away at Ellen Road really surprised me. Like, I couldn't. I had to look twice when I saw it on Sky. It was like, fucking hell, 4-1 to Leeds. What's going on there? And then obviously you lost to Newcastle. It looked like it was close for most of the game, but then 2 late goals. Like, it's just something that Palace hasn't done. Like, I think as games from what I've watched you, obviously when you've done us, like as the game goes on, you get better. Do you know what I mean? That was like the same with the FA Cup semi-final. We started okay. Then you scored, and then we just couldn't get, that was it, game over. So to combat that pace that you obviously hold and try and deal with Mateta, I think Konza will hopefully be put on him. But if Mateta's got anything about him, we'll just move towards Lindelof. That's the best, I think,
100%.
form. We'll try and combat that pace in behind with Matson, hopefully, mate, because he's having a great season. And for me, he's now our first choice left back. He's rapid. He's so quick. Like, honestly, getting forward and getting back, he's been absolutely brilliant. And Cash as well. Like, I think at the start of the season, mate, I'd have said, please get him out of my team. But he's just stepped up and he's been one of the best right backs in the league. He's been brilliant, mate.
He is.
And I will always eat my hat and eat my words, mate, if I get things wrong. Because I've slagged some of these off and gone, no, needs to be better. But, if they rise up to the occasion, then you go, yeah, that's what it's about. That's the level you've got to get. That's Premier League football, not rating a Sunday Lit Park team where I'm going, oh, look, he's been at work all week. Give the guy a break.
No, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I pay my money. I've got a season ticket. I'll say what the fuck I want. Right?
You're paying towards his wages, so...
Yeah. Mate, if I ever meet any of these players, seriously, to get them on the pod, they're going to fucking hate me. But it's fine. We'll develop relationships. And then obviously, unfortunately, we've got no... Onana, he's going to be out for a month after he got injured against Arsenal, which is a shame because I think he would have played him instead of Buendia and pushed Tielemans further forward. But as it stands, like I say, Tielemans and Kamara against Forest, mate, were come against the low block. But you won't play a low block, I don't think. I think you'll come and try and have a go at us. And that
I think you will.
And that's where every team that's beat us, mate, we've only lost 4 times, but in the 4 defeats we've had, yourselves, Liverpool, Arsenal, and oh God, what was the other one? Fucking hell, who's the 4th defeat? Oh, it's gone out my head. It'll come back to
this is your quiz.
Yeah, I know. It's my quiz. And they'll let me know in the comments if I've got it wrong. So please let me know, people. We've been beaten with the high press. We haven't been able to cope with it. We've made mistakes. Liverpool, yes, that's the one. Thank you. It come back to me. Boom. Right. We've just not been able to deal with it. We've made a mistake and we end up kind of conceding the goal, and it's just we've struggled to get back. But if we can keep Brennan Johnson and your front 3 in front of us, then we allow these players to play. And once, Tielemans is one of the best in the league at breaking the lines, mate. And once you get the ball to Morgan Rogers, well, I've got to help you, mate, because he's an absolute animal, right? And he's causing defences problems all over the place.
I'm looking at your team there, and obviously at Palace at the minute, we've played 30 games in the last 5 months.
Yeah.
We're knackered. And all I see here, even from the defence, like, bar the back 2. Actually, Konza's got pace, but everyone's got pace. Your team is full of pace.
It's
and
just
after
Lindelof,
70 minutes, after 70 minutes, though, we're going to struggle. I really think we will against this team.
It all depends. Obviously, we've got momentum, mate. You've got a couple of moments, and I would expect us to go into this game full of confidence. But we all know that football's just as psychological as it is physical.
It is. And
we've got this hoodoo, and there will be something in those players' minds going, how the fucking hell do we beat these? Because we just can't do it. We haven't been able to do it no matter what we do. So if we turn up and are on it, mate, like we were against Forest, like we have been for 11 wins in a row, really. We've had, well, saying that, on it, we've had moments of quality in these games, right, that's changed the games, because we haven't been brilliant, if I'm honest. There's I think against Man United, they were very good against us. They did, which is why I feel the hammering second's a bit harsh, because you think, fucking hell, if they press teams like that, like against in the top end of the table. They've got a chance.
No, 100%.
And we rode our luck a little bit, but then, like I say, we've had moments of quality that's changed the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. The other thing that could happen, like if he wanted to and really kind of go a little bit more attacking, he could literally put Rodgers out left, play Buendia in the middle. He could play Marlon out on the right and get rid of Buendia and put Rodgers left, begin centrally, and play Marlon out on the right with Watkins. And it could work like that. It's very rare he starts with that, though. If I'm honest, he's only done it twice this season, Emery. So I'd be surprised. And then obviously Watkins, who, for me, as we spoke about earlier, mate, has got a long way to go, but he has scored 4 goals in 3 games. So, and he usually does all right against Palace. Like, we were unlucky last year in that first half, mate, because we had a goal disallowed for offside, which was like a fucking toenail. I think that would have been 1-1. And like I say, goals change games, and we do equalise, but through Rodgers. But obviously, we just fell apart. That second half performance, mate. I was there last year at Sellers Park. I travelled all the way down. I got tickets last minute on the day, and I was like, fucking right, let's jump in the car, we're going. Got there and cried all the way home because I didn't get home until like 3 a.m. and it's like, fucking, what is going on? Right.
Well, it's like, I was looking at some stats with both teams beforehand, and I didn't realise that the last 6 meetings, you've only nicked 1 point from us.
Yeah.
And I thought that was shocking, to be fair. Like, obviously, I know one of them was a cup game, but when you look at that, I thought, surely they've done more than that. But like, you literally, for some reason, can't. I don't know why,
mate.
It's like us and Everton. We can't beat Everton. We cannot beat Everton.
Got bogey sides. Like you just kind of. My only hope is that 1, you're on a poor run of form. 2, you've got no Sarr. 3, as I said at the start, we have got a different way of playing now against teams. So it's because if Emery turns up and sets up like we have done against you, I think it'll be a tough game for us. I think if we don't nullify that threat or that pacing behind, then we're there to be got at. But I'm hopeful because, like I say, this is a massive game. If we win this game, right, then psychologically for the players, for City and Arsenal, it's like maybe teams will start to go, fuck, maybe they are in the title race because actually the next 5 or 6 games are winnable games for us. The only game we've got that's tough is Newcastle away. But the other ones are winnable fixtures. They're teams in the lower half of the table that we're doing all right against. And that's the other thing compared to last season. Like last season, we'd play in Europe and lose. Right? The Champions League was too demanding, and we lost 8 out of 9 games after Champions League fixtures. Right? We were just fucking all over the place.
But this is us at the minute.
Yeah,
we can't win after the Conference League. Right?
It's because your squad's small, right? So it's taking the toll of trouble, and it does that. And we've got that experience and a bit more depth this year. And we've won every game after the Europa League. Like it's been crazy. And every time I think actually we're not going to do something, but we've done it. And you go, there's a different mentality, and that's really important. And so I'm not saying we are going to win this game. I'd take a point right now if you could give it to me, mate. 100%, it would be fucking amazing, right? But if we do win it, then it's fucking on, mate. It's the title charge is on, and I don't care what the media say or what other people say about us being deluded or whatever. You can only comment on where you are and what's going on.
100%.
If we win that game, we will be depending on results, but we're already 8 points ahead of Liverpool, so we'd be 11 points ahead of them, right? Fourth, 11 points ahead of fourth. And James and I spoke about this on the pod. So actually, to look as a season, we should be looking at finishing third minimum, right? Because
100%.
Yeah, because it's ours to lose, right? That means we'd have to lose 4 games, and they would have to win 4 games to even catch us. Right? So I just don't see that happening under Emery. Like this is what's happened. Like, we'll lose against Arsenal, and now we should go on another 5 or 6 game winning run, which keeps us well in contention. So we'll see what happens. Like, it's all ifs, buts, and maybes. But mate, I'm here for it.
But it's a bit like us this season as well, though, because obviously I see this game as a very much 6-pointer for both teams.
Yeah.
For us, it's a little bit different. So I see it as, for us, obviously, for one, we usually beat Aston Villa when the last times we played them and bits like that.
I love that. We do. Well, we usually beat them. It's like it's
we do.
Easy game, easy 3 points.
It has been, though. It has been, but out of nowhere, because I would never have thought that. But we're sitting 14th, 4 points. I think it's 4 or 5 points off fourth. Yeah. I think this sort of separates us.
Yeah.
Now, if we lose this game, where as a Palace fan you usually see it as a must-win game, it's one of them where we'll fall behind the wayside.
Well, mate, now you said that, let's just have a look at the league table, right? Because that's where we're at, right? So, this is how
42 points.
no,
It's incredible, isn't it?
But you know when you kind of talk about how competitive the league is, right? And because James and I spoke about this, people have said to me like and I say people, right? Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United fans all going, "Oh, the Premier League's not as good as it used to be." It's bullshit. Like
this is incredible.
The league table proves it. If you beat us, right, you're on 30 points. You can go up to 8th, right?
And that's the thing, and that's exactly what we need. Because if we lose this game and Everton, Fulham, or Brighton pick up a win, that pushes them at 5 points away above us, and that is us. From that moment onwards, I promise you now, our season will drop. Well, if we can put up points in this game, then we're still in for Europe. We're still fighting. And it's a bit like that. So,
well, the confidence builds, right? And you go, I think if you look in the history of the Premier League, mate, this is the time of year where it starts to form, isn't it? Right. So after Christmas, and you're halfway through it, and like you say, the next 3 or 4 games from you to us are going to shape where that middle section finishes.
1,000,000%.
Right. So, I'm here for it. Like, obviously, I don't want you to beat us, but there is something on it for you. But like in terms of, you've got the advantage, the psychological advantage. You know that, like I say, if you win, you can leapfrog potentially Sunderland, right? Potentially if you beat us 3-0, which seems to be a running scoreline for you guys against us. Fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Right. But the fact of the matter is, mate, like I say, we lost 9-10 games last season. We've lost 4 so far this season. I think we're a different beast. I do.
It is, and that's what I'm worried about, and that's why if we were going to predict the scores in bits, I'm very much saying I see this game going either way. Now I see this game.
You led us into it, so let's do the score predictions. Hit us with your score prediction.
Well, I see this going either way. If we could nick an early goal within the first half an hour, I think we could win. If we go 0-0 or 1-1 or anything drawing to the 70th minute, Villa have won this game. I guarantee it. I would say 2-1 Palace, because I've got to back Palace to win this.
Yes, of course.
However, if we, like I said, if we're drawing ball 70 minutes, I wouldn't be surprised if you score 2 passes after 70 minutes to go 3-1 to you. So
I'm going to be watching the 70th minute with eagle eyes, mate, on Wednesday, because literally, I don't know why I've said eagle. It's a fucking curse on us. Right, it's a bad idea. Right. No, okay. So I always have this, man. I think if you remember from the start, I have a head and heart prediction. Right?
Yeah.
So my head says scrappy 1-0. Just fucking get over the line, defend for your lives, get a goal and defend that lead, even if you have to part the bus, right? And just get the 3 points because of what it means in terms of the next few games for us. My heart, obviously, I'm not going to bet against us, but I think we'll concede, but we'll win 2-1. I think we will concede first, because that tends to happen to us away from home.
No, of course.
And
you watch what happens now. Watkins and Mateta both have the best game of their lives. They both score some goals, and they eats away everything we've just literally said.
It'll be like a mad 4-4, mate. It'll be like, what do we know? Just ignore everything we've ever said.
Yeah, both of them score 4 goals in that game as well.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Well, mate, that kind of concludes the show, dude. We've been through an awful lot there. So
we have.
Thank you. If you got to an hour, thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe button. Go and check us both out on Fanalysis. Jack, I'll put any social media links if you send them to me in the bio.
Perfect.
So go and check out Jack Fanalysis. He's awesome. Obviously, this chap's been, mate, I've had a great time again. Honestly, it's been buzzing.
No, 100%. And look, it's always good coming on here with you guys as well. So I love the comments as well. So the comments are from both sides. I like what they say. So it's always good to come on and see the Villa family, as I like to say, eh?
Yes, mate, absolutely. Like I say, I've got nothing but respect for Palace, mate. You've been our bogey side. I do hope we beat the hoodoo. But I'm not confident, if I'm honest. Like I say, I'd take a scrappy 1-0. But if we could win 2-1, then I'd be happy with that as well, because we'd have a running theme then of just winning games 2-1, and everyone will go. And obviously, if we could score goals from outside the box and get our XG down even further, and so people go, they're not going to win anything. They don't fucking score any goals. They should be third from bottom. Right, I'll take that as well.
If you're live after the game, we'd have to definitely try and jump on and try and have a rethink of this.
Are you going the game, mate?
I am. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm looking at doing a watch along. Hopefully, depends on my daughter's football training whether it's on. If my daughter's football training's on, then I might not be able to. But
Yeah.
definitely doing a reaction with James. So if after the game you want to hop on, it'll be the same link I've sent you. Just hit the fucking thing, and we'll get you in, and we'll kind of you can either gloat or
well,
we can gloat.
Let's just say if it's 5-0 Aston Villa, you won't be seeing my face.
That's fair,
so
mate. But
that's as simple as it'll be.
Yeah, if you've got something to cheer about, come on, mate. We'll have you on. That'll be brilliant.
Happy days.
Cheers, Jack. All the best, mate. It just leaves me to say,
Amazing.
Every week we follow the boys in Claret and Blue. Just stay around for a bit, Jack, and as to play the intro, mate, and we'll give you a proper goodbye.